Rick, I'm going to start with you because you're the newest guest of Sarah's visited here many times, but stand up here and tell us your impressions of Real Estate, would you? Please?
Wow, what a terrific project, really. And I think, to put it in perspective, my wife and I are in the process of moving our home, and we have been searching the market for the right type of space, and have had a really difficult time figuring out how do we go from our house currently is about 7,000 square feet. How do we go from that to 2,500 square feet and make it livable, usable, have the right amount of quality living space, yet at the same time, what I love about it is the sense of community too that's been created as a result of the front porches and this front porch living concept. So I was blown away by it. I came with pretty high expectations, having read a lot of press. The fact that you guys were on Wall Street Journal's Market Watch, and you've gotten tremendous coverage. So I did have a high expectation, but I have to say that I was more impressed than I could have imagined with the quality level of the project itself. The building, the design is just incredible, and the way in which you use the space specifically to make it feel in a certain way. The fact that, is it 26 out of 28 have been sold?
21 out of 26.
21 out of 26 homes have been sold in a short period of time in today's marketplace speaks to the desire and the need for this type of living. I think what's interesting is as you look at the economy and as you look at homeowners today, people have different priorities today than they may have had over the course of, say, the last decade. And we've all lived with a tremendous amount of excess. And I think that people are really rethinking what their lifestyles are all about. And having, all of this space and all of these grandiose things isn't necessary. You can still have the same quality of life with something smaller and something more affordable that, a lot of people were caught up in living beyond their means. And, I remember talking about, I grew up in the commercial real estate business, so I've looked at a lot of adaptive reuse projects in my day, have been involved in some, have been involved in doing some development projects within municipalities, and looking at what happened with the whole cycle that we are now experiencing. If you go back in the commercial real estate business to 2007, which was really the last good year of commercial real estate before we started to decline. 2008 took a significant hit, but the reason that commercial real estate did so well is it runs on this cycle 2 years following the residential markets. And the reason that commercial real estate was doing so well and the reason that the economy was doing so well is people were using their homes like ATM machines. And the value of homes was increasing beyond what they could have saved their own money. So instead of saving money, they were living off of the equity in their homes, and they were taking the equity out and they were putting it back into the economy. And as a result of that, it fueled just the drive of the whole economic swing. And of course, subsequently, the crash. So I think that through that process, and a lot of people got caught, as we all know. We were talking over at MJ's company this morning about REO and short sales and banks and what's happened as a result of that, and the excess inventory that's the shadow inventory, if you will, that's sitting on the market, and the impact that that will continue to have on the business. People are thinking differently, and I like personally the thought of thinking smaller. I'm thinking about my life differently, and and my wife and I have said this. We don't. What do we need this big house for? We're not trying to make a statement to anyone, and we thought that it was something that we wanted. And I do own some real estate, and I have gotten caught up in what happened over the course of the last 5 years, just like a lot of people have. And it's made me think about my life differently, and how do I want to be positioned, and what's important to us. And so we've made this decision, even though we'll take a loss on our home to sell it. It's time for us to downsize. I've been in pretty much every market that you can think of around the United States, and when I see a project like this and the need for this in economically hard-hit markets, and part of the whole revitalization that it can bring, and part of a Main Street community that, like, you know, the success that you've had with that here in Libertyville, could really bring back life to Main Street in so many markets around the country. And you know, this kind of project could bring life back to Main Street. So I'm blown away by it. And Libertyville's a great town. I mean, it just is. You can sense it. As soon as we drove into town, you felt like it's, as you picture in your mind, this classic Main Street kind of home, you know, being home. And so that's my sense. That kind of gives you everything. But I was very impressed by it. Obviously, the design's just terrific, Sarah. I mean, it really is awesome. And